Hey race fans, it's race day. Top 5 with me, Frank 5. Short track action at its best. Even though it's split into 2 days because of Mother Nature. But the bottom groove and running up top, wrecking, and a guy winning 7 times at Bristol, what more could you ask for? Number 1, Kyle Busch, 2 weeks in a row, on fire. New point leader in wins so far this year. Captured the Food City 500 today, which basically took almost 2 days to get the job done. And Kyle Busch started this race on the pole, and at the beginning, he was loose. I mean, he was about to wreck. I mean, there were 3 times he should have wrecked in that race. But he was able to adjust to that car, able to make some adjustments, and work his way back to the front after losing all of his track position, and was able to get his 7th win at Bristol and 2nd win in a row, showing everybody that he's on fire. And he did it in stunning fashion. He captured it marvelously. He's one of the Bristol Masters and was able to hold the likes of Kyle Larson, Jimmie Johnson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Alex Bowman. Number 2, Kyle Larson had the best car, and a Chevrolet. And we've been waiting so long since the Daytona 500 for the Chevys to step up against everybody else. And Kyle Larson was the man today. He was the man. He led the most laps, 200, but with 6 laps to go, getting caught in all that traffic, and the bump and run by Kyle Busch put Kyle Larson out of the way to finish 2nd. And he was frustrated after the race because you come so close to winning at a track where Kyle Larson is really good at and is known for using the high line. You know, I feel for him, but sometimes you got to look back and say it was a good run and we're making gains after where we've been the past couple of weeks. And he's really needed this run because the last few weeks have not gone well for Larson, especially last week with that blown tire hitting the wall hard in Texas. He really needed this run. Number 3, Jimmie Johnson. Finally with a top 5 this season. We have been waiting, other than the Chevys, for Jimmie Johnson to step up. And today, and part of yesterday's race, he did. He literally had a great run. True, he got the lead, but he never led a lap at some point today. But he shows everybody that Hendrick Motorsports still has it, and he's still got it. And I applaud Jimmie Johnson and Chad Knaus for going through all this adversity of consistency versus inconsistency and all the bad luck. And Lowe's not coming back next year. They really put a step in the right direction today with this solid 3rd place finish. So an attaboy to the 48 car, and hopefully they'll carry that momentum going into Richmond next week. Number 4, Alex Bowman. Who would have guessed he'd get his first top 5 at Bristol? First career top 5, let me remind you. Bowman has improved these last few weeks. I mean, Texas, he didn't have quite the finish. He ran well at Martinsville. Bowman's really proven a lot of people wrong about how good he's running the 88 car this year. And listen, I want Bowman to succeed. And today, and part of the race that was run yesterday, he did a great job. He was top 5, top 10 majority of the race. At some point, I thought maybe he could spoil the party and win this thing. Unfortunately, you can't beat the likes of Busch, Larson, and Jimmie Johnson at Bristol, but an attaboy to that young gun. And I got a feeling when we come back here in August, he's going to be more competitive than he ever was in this race. And number 5, the racing at Bristol was a lot of fun. I know not a lot of fans showed up because of the weather issues, but the racing was so much fun because the bottom groove at Bristol, the old Bristol, is back. The old Bristol, baby, because back then, people used to run on the bottom groove of the racetrack, which would apply more of the bump and runs than you would at the top of the track. Since they reconfigured the track before the 2007 August race, people have been going to the top, and most of the fans are just going, we want the bottom groove back. Well, today, and yes, part of yesterday's race, they got it. And I enjoyed it very much. I'm glad the bottom groove's back. And I think it produced great racing, bump and runs, and a lot of those race cars and a lot of wrecks. So NASCAR, thank you for applying this track substance, what they call PJ1 or TJ1, to the bottom groove of the track for apply the old Bristol. Worked out well. Can't say enough about it. Very excited. Finally, Chase Elliott, not the finish we hoped for. Lap 3 yesterday, got involved in a wreck. I mean, we didn't, retire from the race. We were able to finish 29th, 27 laps down, but still, I'm, able to gain points. But I'm really sick and tired of all this bad luck. We got to fix this right now. Just go on to the next race. I mean, we finished, but we really need to turn this luck around if we're going to have any shot at making the playoffs. We really do. So next week is Richmond, and it's our first Saturday night race of the season. Short track Saturday night, I'm all for it, and I'm sure everybody else is as well. Who's going to win? Will it be hometown boy Denny Hamlin, or will Kyle Busch make it 3 in a row? We'll find out. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Congrats to Rowdy. I'll see you all next week.